Hello and welcome back to Precious Memory Box's Junk Journaling. My name is Bobby and today I have another project for you. This is with the Scrapbooking with Me design team and we are doing the January Jumpstart, and it is basically where, you know, after we've been crafting all year and then we make a bunch of gifts in the fall and Christmas, you kind of just get a little burnout and you just need something fun and simple to work on. So that's what we're trying to bring you, some simple and easy ideas, ways to just use up your scraps on your desk, you know, or just to just do something light and easy for crafting. So make sure you check out all the other design team members as they are also doing projects this month. And if you watch the newsletters from Miss E, she's trying to list everyone as they have their videos, but you can also check out the playlist on her YouTube channel that it will be under the January Jumpstart one, and you can follow along that way also with the projects. So today I thought I would make some pockets with tags, and this is going to be really simple and easy. I'm going to show you just basically, you know, we all probably have some printables or leftover kit pieces from something we've been working on, and I'm just going to show you, you know, some quick and fun easy tags you can make and maybe add some pockets to them. So I've got a piece of craft cardstock here that I have left over, and I'm just going to, let's see, what did I do with my paper here? I'm going to use some of these. They're actually already pre-made tags from one of the Scrapbooking with Me kits, and I'll put that up on the screen for you if you want to go grab that from their shop. Make sure if you shop online at the Scrapbooking with Me online store that you use the code BOBBY20 and you can get 20% off your digitals if they're not already on sale. There are certain restrictions, but if they're not on sale, you should be able to use that discount code and get 20% off your digital purchases. All right, so I'm going to grab my ruler here and just double check, and let's see, move my trimmer here a minute. All right, so these tags are just a little over 3 inches, and let's see how tall they are. They are about 5, little over 5.5. So I'm going to make my tags here. I'm going to make them 3.5 by 6. So I'm going to cut out, see how many tags I can cut out from this one piece of cardstock that I have here. And I'm just going to line this up on here. And actually I want to cut that off, so let me bring that over just a little. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this scrap right here. And then we're going to measure 3.5. Let me think about this. Yeah, 3.5. Okay, and we'll just see how many we can get at 3.5 from this piece of paper that I had left over. I think I can get one more out of it. Right, and then we're going to take these and let's see, what did I say, at 6? Sorry for my table wobbling. And one more. about to do that wrong. We want 6. Okay. All right. I think that's all we'll need our trimmer for. All right. Now, you can make your edges round. You can leave them straight. However you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut out one of these. Maybe this one right here. Oop, I just cut into that. So we'll just move over to the next one. And what's so fun about these is you've got a pocket right there. You can make it deeper if you want. You can make it fancier if you want. But, you know, just taking elements of leftover kits that you have from the season and just use them to create some extra tags that you can use in upcoming projects. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see. It really doesn't matter which one. Now I'm not going to cut all the little fancy holes out. If you want, you can use a single hole punch and go through there and do that. Or if you have like a Brother Scan and Cut or a Cricut, you can, you know, certainly have it cut those pieces out for you. But I'm going to keep it simple. Maybe I'll just put a little ink on them so they won't be quite so bright white. So let me grab one of these here and let me just grab my, should already have some walnut stain on here. I don't want to get it too heavy and dark. So, but we need a little bit more. There we go. That way we can just kind of dull down that white edge. It's really bright there. You could also just cut that off if you don't want it on there. But when you have a pocket, you need a little bit of a edge to it. All right. So what we're simply going to do with this one here is glue it down, and then I'm going to try to kind of follow that pattern myself. And I'm going to use my glue stick on this. Hope everyone's been having a good week, and hope your upcoming week, this week, will be good too. Okay, let's take a little bit of glue and see if I can, let me try this glue bottle. Yeah, that one's always easier to use. Get a little more glue on here. There we go. There we go. Sometimes I don't get enough of that glue stick on there, or it kind of soaks in and you need to put another layer. I don't know if anyone else has that issue. I think it's where I live. All right. So now we can simply just take this piece right here and line it up and create a pocket. And that's what I'm going to do for this first tag. And then we're going to do a little bit of embellishing. Let's make sure I have this going the right direction. All right, and I'm just going to line that up the best I can. There we go. And so now we've got a pocket here that we can add things to. Need a little bit of more glue here. And then I'm going to try this. We'll see if it works. I'm going to try to follow this shape myself. Oops, I'm cutting that one a little close. And I'm going to slightly trim this just a little bit here to make it look a little more even. There we go. And there is a quick and easy and fast way to do that. But I want to add a little embellishment to it. So I'm going to take my, it's a lanyard punch, but I also kind of call it a ribbon punch because it works well if you use ribbon. I'm going to punch out a hole there. And then let's see, I have some lace here available. Let me see if I have some off-white instead of a bright white. I know I just saw some. There it is. Okay. This is some lace that I got from Scrapbooking with Me, and I've about used this thin one already up because I love it. Okay. I always tend to want to do too much, so let's see what I can do here. Now I like to fold it in half, and you can either bring it through the front or bring it through the back. Let's see, I think I'm going to go the other direction. All right, and there we go. Of course, if they're too long, you can trim them and even them up. But that's just a quick and simple tag. And of course you can take, and if you have a smaller tag, you can definitely fit that right inside of there, just like that. All right, let's do another one. This one, let me re-situate myself. I'm in a different chair and it's not cooperating with me. This one, I'm gonna do some rounded corners on, I think. So instead of the traditional corners, I'm going to do rounded corners. And let's see, I've got some other paper here. Let me see what we've got. I have some of the birds. I think it's called Vintage Birdhouses and Birds. And I shrank it down so that it would have 4 per page. That way they'd be a little smaller and I could decide, you know, what would be pretty on the tag. I really like that. I do. I like this one. This one would fit if we made it across. We might do that. Okay, let's see what else we have here. All right, that's a pretty one too. And you can get most of that on there. But I think I'm going to go with the brighter one. Do I have one more here? That is going this direction, which those are beautiful too. We might use one of these. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's use this one here with the multiple birds on it. And I shrunk these down. These are full-size pages. And I shrunk them down. This one 2 per page, and then I did some 4 per page. Okay. All right. So let's look. It's a little, what am I trying to say? It's a little short. Oh, that's not even the right one. I need the round one. It's a little bit short of this, but if we make a pocket on the bottom, that will cover that up with no problem. So let's go ahead and round these edges also. And I'm going to use the same size to complement what we did on the tag. And like I said, I'm keeping everything really simple. You know, these are just basic ideas to help you use up your scraps that you've accumulated over the last few months. Just some things to put in your stash, or you could use them for swaps or for Happy Mail. So I'm going to line that up almost to the top. Okay. And then let's see, what could we use on here? It doesn't have to be paper. We could use something else, but let's look, see if there's one of these we want to use as part of the pocket. We could cut off something kind of like that right there and use that. Let's see how that will work out if we cut off the lower portion of this one. Okay, so I'm going to try to just go right across where the banner is. Okay. And then let's see how wide we need it to be. So we can cut a little bit off each side. All right. And let's see, do we need, that's just about right. Just maybe a little bit more off of this side. All right, and then I'm going to round the edges again. All right, there we go. Now, you can see that you kind of have a banner here, and then you've got this banner here. So what we can do is run something across there. Let's take our round hole punch here and see if I can just punch out a little section right there. Okay, I'm going to take and just ink that a little bit. And then I'm going to decide what I can put across there. I'm wondering if that would be too blank if I used a strip of that. What if we did a piece of lace or ribbon there? Do I have anything that matches in here? Let me look and see. I think I carried all my lace out the other day, my little bucket of lace I had in here with me. Maybe we can just still do a thin little switch of this and then line that up. I think that'll work. That way you won't see, you know, I could have made the pocket a little higher, but that's okay. So where did I go with my scissors? There they are. Okay. I'm going to put this right across here. I'm going to use a Fabri-Tac. Okay. There we go. We'll let that dry and then we'll come back and snip off the sides. And then I can go ahead and add this here. Now if you want to, if you don't have a bunch of scraps you want to use up and you want to use your winter kits you have, you can definitely do the same thing with any paper kits you have, or whether they're scrapbook kits that you purchased or if they're printables, digitals. One thing I love so much about digitals is that you can reuse them. You can reprint them. So that's one of my favorite things about them. Okay. There we go. Oops, I cut into my tag a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. Now again, you can add in any tag you want. I'm gonna let that dry before I slide something in it because we've got all that there. We can definitely I'm trying to decide, let's do a different type of tag. Excuse my reach. Let me grab my tab thing here. And I'm going to take one of the pictures here and just see if I can get this bird. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see if he'll be in my, oh, I think I can. I'll cut off a little bit of his tail. There we go. All right. So now we've got a little tab we can use. And I'm just going to fold that in half. And we're going to put that up here at the top. And it'll have another little bird on it. I'm not sure what type of birds these are. They kind of look like barn swallows, but I'm not sure if the barn swallows have a red belly. I can't remember. Or kind of an orangish. I can't remember. There we go. I love that with the tag on it. All right. Let's do a different pocket on this one. So let me look again at my papers. And let's see, I've got some background papers here too. Let me grab one of them. There we go. We've got a pink. And let's see, what other colors do I have here? We'll just grab these all out of here. Okay. And I also got this one. I love this one. I'm trying to decide which ones will go together. Got, yeah, okay. I'm thinking maybe this gray and pink. And let's see. Let's use this as the background. And what I'm going to do, instead of leaving a border, is I'm just going to glue this down. And I did just use some, scrap paper to do this, so I can always cover that up later. Trying to decide what type of glue. Let's do our glue stick. We'll just try to get enough on there that it'll stay on better. There we go. And let's try to, I'm going to use my mat here to help keep me straight, so my lines will be straight. All right. Okay. My cats always like to come visit me while I'm crafting, so Sammy may make an appearance here in a moment. He's down below at my feet right now. All right. If I'd been thinking, I would have turned this over the other way so the blank side would be on the back, but that's okay. I can cover it with another light piece of paper. All right, so what I want to do with this one, and let's see, I don't think I have my tab punch in here, but we will just make our own. But first I want to make, actually I might just round these two corners because we're going to make a side tuck with this one here. I'm just going to cut the white trim off here. All right, we're just going to measure, and it should be, what did we say, 6.5? I haven't altered this one at all. Oh, that one's right at 6. All right, so let me cut. Let me cut a strip of this at 6, and then we'll figure out the top portion of it. Let's see. That'll work. I'm going to have to cut off. I didn't cut off the right end. So let me do that to get the length I want. And then we just need it to be, let's do 2 inches. Okay, I don't know, sometimes my brain does not work when I'm cutting. I think it's because I'm left-handed and I want to go the opposite direction. And so, okay. Okay, that'll work. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to corner around these. And this we're going to cut off. So let me trim that off so I can corner around it. There we go. I love the gray and the pink together. Okay, so we're going to corner red around that. And then we're going to corner around this. Also, and This is going to be a side tuck pocket. So leave the one side open. We're going to line that right up on the edge and put that down. And then this time, I'm going to take the white lace and I want to run it along here. Just like that. All right. I'm going to grab the Fabri-Tac again. All right. One of the cats is scratching there. I'm not sure what they're doing, but all right. Got that done. Let's see. I also have, is that blue or gray? Oh, look, I have some gray baker's twine. So let's take a little bit of that. Now you could do a couple different things with this. You could also run this along here, which I really like. I'm trying to say, yeah, let's run that along there. Let's try and decide if my regular glue will work for that. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, then we'll grab the Fabri-Tac out and use it. All right. There we go. Okay, get my finger up there and maybe that'll dry. I don't think that's going to work. All right, let's do the Fabri-Tac. I always hope the easier glue will work, but it just doesn't do as well as the Fabri-Tac does. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go, and we'll just let that sit for a minute. And then let's see. Let's take, I may not have my single hole punch in here with me. Let me look and see real quick. I think I have it out in the other room. So I'm trying to decide what type of hole we want, and I think we'll just go ahead and do this again. There we go. Now if you have a different color, you have some pink lace or such, you could put that in there. I'm just going to grab a little bit more of this and maybe see if I can double it up a little bit. I don't have any pink bankers. What is this stuff called? Baker's twine? That would be neat if I did, but I do not, because we could double that up in there. I'm just going to try to make this one look a little thicker if I can. Go, and we'll cut this. And then we'll, I was going to cut them apart, but, you know, all the same length. Yeah, maybe I'll still do that. There we go. And then we're going to trim these off here. I'll have to position that back over there. All right, and then let me get this one down here. And there we go. That is a beautiful one. I have a little bit of washi here. And this one, see, I'm trying to see what it says. So, trying to decide if that might look pretty on there also. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, that's pretty. All right. And there you go. There is a pocket with a side tuck. Now, I don't think I can still get this under there, but you could do a notch or a cutout before you put this on here, but I forgot to do that. But it seems like that slides in and out of there okay, so we're going to leave it just like that. All right, well, I think that was fast and easy. Just three different two pockets, I guess the same. I just wanted to show you how you could use your leftover parts of your printable kits, or even, you know, your paper scrapbooking kits, and just, you know, just be creative and create your own pockets from the pieces you have. And then this one was strictly just off the top of my head. I didn't plan it. I just took what I had and created. And sometimes, to me, that's the most relaxing, when you can just sit and, you know, create things and not really, they don't have to necessarily be for any certain project or anything like that. It's just for pure enjoyment. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll continue to watch. Make sure you check out all the other design team members, and Mrs. E is doing organizational tips in a video on Thursday. So make sure you check out her videos. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.